What happens when you put a chip inside the brain of a monkey? It plays Pong. That is the result of Neuralink, which is one of Elon Musk's company. They have done exactly that. They placed a chip inside the brain of a monkey so they can read the monkey and the monkey can actually play a game. But there's all kinds of potential for this technology, as creepy as it sounds. To explore what that future could be, we have Sarah Moran from Geek Academy and Kunal Kalro from Eugene. Okay, walk me through exactly what it is that's happened with this experiment.
They've installed a chip in Pager, the monkey's brain, and this chip has about 2,000 electrodes that are all injected into the motor cortex of Pager, and it's recording all the neural activity that's happening in that particular region. So that in itself, incredibly cool, just to think about how you might perform brain surgery to the point of installing 2,000 electrodes in someone's brain without, well, killing them. So
yes, not killing them is a good goal.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't know if that was always successful. But anyway.
The monkey is still alive currently. Whether or not it continues to be remains to be seen.
Yeah. I meant more
this monkey.
Yeah.
It's the other monkeys we're not talking about.
Oh.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
I'm just backing Kunal here. We don't know.
No, that's a fair point, actually. Like, I don't want people to think we're making light of, dead animals, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of see this really performative video, which in itself is quite cool, and I will cover that. It's just that you don't necessarily have all the background information of what happened behind the scenes. There's no scientific journaling, so nothing's been published. So all you get to see is a marketing stunt and a marketing video, but you don't really know what's happened behind the scenes. Still though, really, really interesting to even find success in installing a 2,000 electrode chip into an animal's brain and be able to successfully record the neural activity that's happening in that region. So they've paired it with an iPhone, and now they're teaching Pong how to play the video game with a joystick while recording the activity in the motor cortex, so they can kind of link up the regions that are becoming more active when Pager's moving the joystick in particular directions. And so once they can kind of sync that, they can start to predict what Pager's going to do with just understanding what regions are being activated in Pager's brain. So at some point, they just remove the joystick, and now Pager is essentially Yoda. So
I like that's a technical term.
Yeah.
This technology of like reading your brain activity and trying to translate it into an action is actually really complex, isn't it, Sarah?
It is such a complex thing, and to reduce it to a 3-minute video, I think, is also very talented. But the idea that we are now at a place where without a joystick you can play Pong if you are a monkey is next level. It is absolutely the stuff of science fiction, and it freaks the bejesus out of me, to be completely frank.
Kunal, what's involved in understanding how to read the electrical signatures in different regions of the brain and trying to translate that into an instruction to a piece of software?
Well, so it's really unique to the individual or animal in this case. And so it's not just something that, if we just put a little helmet on you and we're recording your brain activity, it's not like we'll be able to predict exactly what you're doing just from the start. You almost have to link that to an action that's happening in real life. So maybe you're seeing a photo of your family member or something, and you can see which regions are being activated. And so in a way, it's kind of like gene sequencing. To be able to sequence the genome is one thing, but to be able to understand how that plays out uniquely for each individual person is quite another. And so it's a really complex science. We're barely scratching the surface. What they were able to do over here was to understand what movements Pager is going to make without Pager having to make those movements anymore. But that requires the unique connection of understanding how Pager's brain works and mapping that to a physical activity that's happening outside. It's about understanding what you're doing, what's happening in your brain, but then also then remapping that to make sure that what's happening in the real world now is actually the same thing that you want in your brain.
There is lots more of this in the podcast of Download This Show. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, gang.